Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Donkey Kong Country Returns. Last episode, as you know, we went through a bunch of World 2 levels, so now we're about to finish World 2 up with World 2K first, and then we'll be going to the boss, obviously, because those are the only levels left, and then we'll be doing some of World 3. I'm not entirely sure how much. I just remember I recorded quite a bit of footage here, so I believe I got through the first 3 or 4 levels. We'll see when we get there. This level right here, not very challenging. Still challenging though. Gotta make sure you time your jumps right. Diddy is very helpful for this level because these jumps can be super unforgiving. So just having that little jetpack to boost you along is super useful. So try to make sure you get him when you start the level. I believe they provide you with the free barrel. Remember, try to always jump off of every enemy in here, especially if you don't have Diddy, and then like bounce off of them so you can make sure you get the proper mileage to keep going and you don't fall in the lava. It's like, if you pause for even a single second here, you may be putting yourself at risk. I don't mean that completely literally, I just mean like pausing your movement. So, be extremely careful. You get to the climbing segment, just gotta be careful not to get hit and keep climbing, because that is very important. If you don't keep climbing, you may end up in the lava and dead before you know it. But as long as you're just moving the whole time, this level is really simple. That's really all there is to say about this level. Hope that helps you guys, and you should have your second K level beaten now. Nothing challenging there. Now this boss, I wouldn't say it's super hard, but it's one of my least favorite bosses in the game, because I don't know what it is about this boss, but I think this boss's signals for when you're supposed to attack get sort of changed, because there are times when you can slam into it and it'll knock it over, and then there's times where you can like hit the ground and it'll knock it over, and then there's times where you do one and it doesn't work, and then you can do the other one and it doesn't work either. It seems like it's different every time. I don't know why that's the case. It makes this boss a little frustrating, but the main thing is to just kind of be careful with your attacking and don't get hit by it. Nothing super hard, just really annoying and slow. It's like, make sure you're ready to jump on them or you jump on them, do what I said, like slam them or roll into them. If one doesn't work, try the other. If not, then I guess try something else again. Try the same thing usually, because that usually does work to stop them. They usually try to stop the other attack, I think. This part is simple. They have like their claws out. Don't run into them. Wait till they raise them up and then roll into them to knock them all over like this, and then just hit them. Only have to do that once, so then once you do that, you get your 3 hits. You have to do that 2 times total. And also, this is where things get a little interesting, because in this fight, usually like at least one of these guys will have their claws hanging up when they're moving around, so they do it as like a defensive measure to try and stop you from landing on them. Just clap on, not really clap, but bash on the ground and they get hit pretty easy, and easy counter method. Same exact method here, and there you go. Simple boss fight. A little annoying, kind of hard to read, but that's all there is to it. And there you go. You've got World 2 covered. Feel free to enjoy beating up the Tiki very thoroughly here. Always remember, when you're doing this, if you want to get as many hits as possible, don't start right away. Just make sure you wait until the game gives you the proper prompt to do it. It's kind of hard to describe exactly when to start hitting it. I think you have to wait until DK kind of closes in and then hit. I'm not entirely sure, because it's been a little bit since I've recorded this and done this, and I don't remember exactly what it was, because sometimes I mess it up myself. Okay, now we're in World 3. Starting with Wonky Waterway. we'll be going back to collecting Kong letters here, so this will be fun. This world is fairly simple, I'd say. There's not a whole lot of challenging stuff in this world. There's some fairly challenging Kong letters to grab here, so you have to be kind of careful. K, you have to be able to time your jump just right, so nothing too bad though. As long as you're careful about it, you should be able to get it. There is one level in particular that can be a little bad about the Kong letters, but it's a fairly easy level altogether. And the game doesn't really get that challenging in general until you get to about World 4 or 5, I'd say, so this is all pretty simple stuff for the most part. Here's your N. Keep going. Just had to jump over the saw blade carefully. If you had Diddy, it might help because then you can sort of slow yourself if you're not making the jump right. Diddy does make these jumps way easier. Alright, just continue. Make sure you're watching your jumps as usual. Nothing challenging. This part's a little tricky if you don't get your timing right, because you can fall to your death really easy, but it's nothing bad. And then, boom, you're pretty close to the dump the level already, so just keep moving along. This level is really straightforward. There's your G. I found it easier to just go and let those guys fall rather than try to grab the G before they fall, because then you risk unnecessary damage, and they can push you, I think, which can lead to you falling and dying. So it's better to just ignore them and let them fall first, and then break them for the G. And there you have it, 3-1. And here we go, 3-2, Button Bash. I seriously remember nothing about this level at all, but we'll see where this goes. I'll try to give decent commentary to help about here, because there's not anything really challenging here, like I said, in these first 3-ish worlds, maybe 4. Actually, no, I take that back. World 4 itself is pretty bad. I'm not entirely sure how much more I'd say is challenging. I remember World 5 and 6 being a little bit less of a burden than 4. Yeah, this one's pretty simple. You get that K, either bounce off something or use the barrel. This is fairly simple little segment, just roll and kill these hummingbirds. This is a lot worse in mirror mode because they're tiny. You have to hit them all and kill them all, and you only have one shot at it, so you gotta be kind of careful, but nothing bad. Basically, when you see the little lights there go on, you just shoot there. That's a really simple segment. Nothing to worry about. Keep going here. Alright, this is a very important segment. Always wait until you're close to the button to fire. And timing is everything, so make sure you're facing another cannon, or sure you're going to land in a safe position before you end up going on, or you could die. So here, easy to miss if you don't realize it's there, and you don't get a lot of chances at it, so you got to get it on the first or second shot with that chicken. Let him walk up and then bounce off of him, and then there you go, you've got it, but you can miss that really easy if you're not paying attention. Anyway, continue on. Now, wait for the right timing and then land in there. You gotta be kind of careful. If you're a little bit off, you can correct yourself with Diddy, which isn't too hard. And if you're not, well, you're dead. But this level does stay thoroughly pretty easy. Same pattern here, just hitting the button. Nothing to worry about. Alright, this part's pretty bad. I remember this part being not the easiest thing. It's mostly just pay attention and not shoot yourself to your death and try to shoot yourself to a cannon. Make sure you hit the button and grab the N and then just go. It's mostly straightforward, but it's simple and still kind of level. If you're not paying attention, you can really mess up and kill yourself. I was lucky considering I just shot myself into the spiked wall and not actually shot myself off the course. I just went for these guys to get the tokens. You don't actually have to do that unless you just really want to. this part, if you're confused at all, you just had to go and slam that and break off the concrete there. It's like, it may not be completely obvious, but they make it fairly obvious anyway. This one, try to go for the ones that are about to pop out, like try to just get on the panels there. Might be a little challenging to get on them. Just make sure you get enough time to get up to the G, and then boom, you can go straight over here. Now this segment, not hard. I'd say it's a little bit tricky though. They give you the first shot for free. Basically what you're trying to do with this cannon is you're trying to fire and make sure your timing is when the monkey's mouth is open. So be careful not to mess up. I'd say it's not too tough, but you mess up like 2 or 3 times, I think you die, so just a fair warning there. Alright, 3-3 Mass Blast. I still don't remember this one either, so unfortunately, not sure how useful I'll be, but I'll try to give useful commentary. Okay, I oddly don't remember very much about this level. I know there were some sliding segments in the early beginning of the level, which kind of dangerous if you're not careful. Just gotta jump safely to get that K, but my memory of this level is like completely faded, but I think I'm slowly starting to remember this level. There are a few challenging bits in this level, but nothing really challenging out of it. Okay, yeah, this level mostly takes place on the beach. It's kind of odd because this feels like it would be in World 2 since it's a beach level, but I guess they wanted to have one more and they decided to extend it into World 3. Basically, this level is you jumping around on ships. Anyway, here you want to try and trick them into firing at that box and get off it before it hits you, because that box will explode and seriously hurt you. And you can actually get shot mid-transition into the ship because of the cannonball, so be careful there. It's going to be a kind of dangerous level if you're not paying attention to where you're going. The next segment, like after you get out of the ship, is where it gets a little more challenging and the level starts to become pretty rough because you get fired out a lot more. Just take your time, jump over cannonballs, you should be safe. Kill the crabs too, because they will probably hit you if you don't. And then there you got that. I believe there's an N down there. Yeah, I think it's N. I was gonna say. Unfortunately, I haven't been keeping as much and paying as much attention as I'd like to the letters, but still know where they're generally located for the most part. Okay. Now, after you shoot yourself off this ship, I believe this is where the difficulty starts to ramp up, and yes, this is the part I was thinking of. Climb here, and you're trying to avoid cannonballs at the same time. They fire kind of slow though, so you might be alright as long as you're not taking too much time. Get up there and grab that G and get away from the cannonball shots. Try not to get hit by them. You should be good. This is particularly bad for me right here because I messed up and left myself with 1 health, so I had to really be observant of the cannonballs. Make sure you get the right amount of height to jump off, because you might not make it if you don't, unless you have Diddy, and then it's a little more forgiving. And then get up there on that rope and use that to get to the cannon right there. Now jump into this barrel, and then you should be able to blast through there, and you are about to reach the end of the level here, and then just blast over to the goal. And there you have it. You beat the level, get all the Kong letters. Pretty simple. Alright. And that should be it for this one, so if you enjoyed watching, hope my little video here was helpful. I tried to give as much good advice as I can. Anyway, I just ended it off here by grabbing the key. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments if you want to, how good the video was and how helpful it was. If not, then whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I appreciate you viewing, though. Bye, guys.